Hey everyone, and welcome to my review of the SE Electronics V7 dynamic vocal microphone. So this is the box that you get it in. Got some stickers. This happens to be the Switch microphone, and so you get a sticker here. And it shows you how to do the switch lock right away. So you can actually lock that switch so you don't turn it on by mistake. On off switch, so that's pretty self-explanatory here. On is on, off is off. On, if you want to lock it on, then you just need a screwdriver and you turn that screw here and it's going to be on the always on position. Oh, I never know what this is. So, oh yeah, you can switch the inside foam so that you can have a different look for the microphone. I think it looks pretty neat with a red foam inside, but it does give it that kind of goth look, which you see there. So onto the microphone, or the accessories in the microphone. You get a clip. You get, that clip was in there. I've already opened this box, but you get a nice pouch. And you get the actual microphone. So there you go in all its glory. It's the SE V7 Switch. And so right here is that screw they were talking about. And so that's the on-off switch. And it's really like there's no clicking, so it's not going to make any noise when you turn it on and off. We're going to test that later, but really nice build. Let's look inside, shall we? Inside is where you can switch out the foam. You see the red foam in there. You can take that out and switch it for a black one. And there is a foam in here somewhere. Yeah, they give you an extra black foam. In case you don't like that red one, you can switch it without buying any extra accessories. So there's the capsule. It says aluminum voice coil, patented design. Now, I was confused about this when I was looking at this microphone, and I didn't know if the V7 switch was the same as the V7. It is. It's exactly the same capsule. You can go check out this capsule on the website, and it will be exactly the same as the V7. It's just that this model has the switch. So switch back to the camera, right? Okay, so we've done that, and it's got a really nice shock absorber. And one of the nice benefits of this microphone is that compared to other microphones like the Shoreline, this is really a step above in terms of your noise handling. You see how shock absorbing that is? The Shure series, all the SM58 and Beta 58 is, I've seen the internal shock mount. It is great, but this is just the cut above here. They've really gone to some engineering feats to make this happen. Let me give you a close-up on that shock mount here. Okay, trying to keep that in frame. Look at that, the way it's encapsulated there. It's got some foam. There's no bungee system, but it's a really clever way to hang the capsule inside this foam. See, it's got its own little shock mount inside, so I can pull it in and out. Move it side to side like that. So if it gets hit by a vibration, all those vibrations will be attenuated by that internal shock mount. As far as the build quality, it's pretty nice. It would definitely is not feeling cheap or anything like that. It's got a nice weight to it. Once this closes, it's very, very tight. The paint job on it is really nice. Today I'm going to be reviewing the SE V7 microphone, and I've got it right next to a Shure Beta 58. Very similar microphones, different pricing. The Beta 58A is quite a bit more expensive than the SE V7. What I did notice was that in recording, funny enough, there wasn't much sound difference between the two. Where I did notice a difference was during a live setting. So in a live setting, the Beta 58A will have a lot more of that crispy, magical high end that is just makes the voice come alive. It's not to say that the V7 is a bad microphone. To the contrary, it sounds very good. But I found when you're like really letting it out, there's just a touch of magic that the Beta 58A will have over the V7. The V7 is already very good, but the I don't know what it is. The Beta 58A just has that one little magic touch. It's in the high frequencies, but it just makes the voice come alive. So I would use any of these microphones in a live recording, either the Beta 58A or the SE V7. So I'll be switching from one microphone to the other during the recording, but I don't think you'll be able to capture much of a difference in the recording. Where you'll be able to really see the difference or hear the difference is through some speakers. If you have one next to the other, or better yet, mute the channel. And if you get an opportunity to try these live, you can hold them in your hand. Then the best thing to do is to mute the channel, have one microphone, sing into it, mute the channel, unplug it, plug the other guy, this one, the SE V7, into the same cable, the same mixer channel, and then you'll see what they can deliver. From my experience, I'm not a professional singer. I do sing as a hobby or a passion, but I can say that at first the Beta 58 sounded pretty much exactly the same, but then I realized that in those notes where you really push the limit of your voice, this one, the Beta 58A, makes it come alive just a bit more. So let's do a couple of tests here. You'll see, or maybe you won't see any difference between the two. You didn't tell me you would come down yesterday. You wouldn't tell me you would come down yesterday. You wouldn't tell me you would come down yesterday. You wouldn't tell me you would come down yesterday. So there you see the Shure Beta 58A against the SE V7. Now maybe since I'm got a male voice, I'm going to do some lower notes. Supposedly the V7 can capture more of the bass. Let's just see if that's true. Doom, 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 doom. Do 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 do. All right, so I'll sing a tune that I know that has a higher note, so maybe that'll come through on the studio recording here. And so here goes. I'm going to A/B test the difference in the post-production. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from the rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that the rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. La da 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 da. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from the rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that the rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. La da 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 da. That was my review of the SE V7 microphone. Great microphone for the price. It's in that professional range of microphones. It's definitely not cheap. This is the Switch version, so look at the pricing between the V7 model and the V7 Switch. Sometimes they have a price difference. It's exactly the same microphone. This Switch model has a switch that you can turn on off, and it's seamless. Let's just test that out right now. I'll turn it on and off. This is on. I didn't hear anything through the headphones, so this is on. I'll try to do a keep a note that whole time. So, uh, 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 all right, so that is the switch on the V7. Exactly the same microphone. I was wondering about this, but I really investigated, and it's exactly the same mic. From personal experience, there is a subtle. If you're just looking for that extra magic touch, then it's really a question of trying this in some live PA speakers. You'll see that the Beta 58A just has that something extra that the V7 didn't have for me. Once I sang into this, it was like, man, it just has like some sprinkly sparkles there when you're singing into it. I can't explain it. It's like the extra dynamic range. It's not a question of just like it has more treble, has more mids, has more bass, this and that. It's got just some extra. I don't know what it is. It's like some frequency response. It's got a little magic. Think of a fairy going across the room and sprinkling some fairy dust across your vocal harmonies and your vocal waves, and just bringing out that extra sense of magic. So that was my personal experience with the Beta 58 versus the V7. They're both great microphones, and like I said, the this one just has some of that extra magic touch. So you just have to try them side by side for yourself. And if you don't have that luxury, well, you can take my word for it. And the conclusion is V7, great microphone for the price. This has a switch model. I think that having a microphone with a switch, especially a no noise switch like the V7, and the fact that you can lock it into place and just make it into a regular microphone, is a definite advantage. And you can have it. It's really great to have at least one microphone with a switch in your mic arsenal for those types of situations. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.